The Chicago Bears had their Fan Fest practice today at Soldier Field, and although Justin Fields and DJ Moore continue to look like a potential elite quarterback wide receiver duo, the star of training camp has been wide receiver Chase Claypool. So before I recap everything that happened in practice today, I do want to address the injuries as they are starting to pile up. The defense is taking quite a toll on the first team, and head coach Matt Eberflus said nobody is dealing with a long-term injury, so that's at least good news that it seems like nobody is seriously injured. However, a long list of starters was not participating today. Guys who were out on the starting defense included Jaquan Brisker, Kyler Gordon, Tremaine Edmonds, DeMarcus Walker, and Jack Sanborn, and at some point Eddie Jackson was shaken up. Some reporters said that it just seemed like he got the wind knocked out of him, but I don't think he returned after that. Backup safeties came in after that, so quite a handful of defensive starters are shaken up and dealing with some nagging injuries. So hopefully, like head coach Matt Eberflus said, nothing is long-term, nothing is super serious, and hopefully everybody is ready to go for week one. But it is kind of rough to see how many defensive starters are out of practice right now. And as far as the offensive side of the ball goes, Nate Davis, right guard, new acquisition this free agency, still is not participating, still has not put pads on. So in his place was backup right guard Lucas Patrick. He was injured during practice today as well. He went into the trainer's tent and eventually walked into the locker room. So Ja'Tyre Carter, late round draft pick from last year, was in with the first team at right guard. So two injuries at right guard on the offense isn't looking too good there. Hopefully Nate Davis can be back on the practice field sooner than later, and more importantly, hopefully he's ready to go week one. Other than that, everybody else on the offense has been a full go, so not nearly as beat up as the defensive side of the ball, so that is great news. Tevin Jenkins was injured earlier in the week, but he's back. He was a full go today, so no worries there. And that's about all I have for injuries as far as guys that are gonna play meaningful minutes. Obviously, Dante Pettis still has not participated, and backup linebacker Dylan Cole is also out. Now getting into the action from today. The team started off with one-on-ones, and reports said that Justin Fields looked great, getting the ball on time where it needed to be, delivering great strikes. And the only specific ones that I know of is that DJ Moore had a really beautiful catch, and then Darnell Mooney had a great catch as well from Justin Fields. Then moving on to 11-on-11s, it was a little bit of a slow start from the offense, but they slowly got more and more heated up. The second play in 11-on-11s was a run play, and guys really started hitting hard, nice loud cracks for the crowd. Then Justin Fields threw a pass to DJ Moore on the left side for a gain of 8 yards. DJ pushed to the top of his route and broke back to the sidelines for the easy completion. And then Fields had a beautiful throw to the left sideline on a deep crossing route to Chase Claypool. Claypool was wide open for a big gain, and that's where Claypool really started to heat up. A few plays later, Fields connected with Claypool again. Claypool ran 5 yards and sat on his route in a soft spot in the zone for an easy completion. So Chase Claypool is showing he's comfortable, figuring out where to go in the defense, figuring out the holes in the zone. And rookie running back Roschon Johnson, who had some injuries early in camp but is back, had some really good runs today. I mean, he had a point at practice where he got free on an outside run, hit a nasty juke move at the end, and then he followed it up with a short completion and finished for like 10 yards or so down the field, lowering his shoulder and hitting the defender. So Roschon Johnson, rookie running back, is starting to heat up in that running back competition. And then Justin Fields hit DJ Moore on a 19-yard touchdown to cap off a 74-yard touchdown drive for the Bears offense in 11-on-11. So this is where the offense started to get heated up, and Justin Fields had multiple touchdowns on the day. But after that specific period, they did break off into individual drills, and they had some special teams, and rookie wide receiver Tyler Scott muffed another punt. So this is 2 days in a row that he's muffed a punt after 3 days in a row of dropping passes. So Again, I spoke about it in the last video. I think the rookie is just in his head, and luckily for the Bears and luckily for himself, he's not in a position where he has to be a superstar. Again, he's wide receiver 4 or 5 on the team, so there's no rush for him to be a star, but he does have to get out of his own head right now. The mistakes are piling up, and he's got to get that cleaned up. But the team moved right on into red zone drills after that, 11-on-11s once again, and Justin Fields ended up connecting with Cole Kmet for a touchdown with a really sharp pass by Justin Fields, and then Justin Fields rolled right on a play and connected with Chase Claypool on a drag route for a touchdown. The next play was a little bit of an overthrow on a back corner route to Cole Kmet. Cole Kmet reached his arm out and tried to catch it. He got one hand on it, but he couldn't bring it in. And at some point during the day, and I have to apologize because I didn't take my notes the way I normally do, I had some other things going on, so I'm going back and finding everything, so these things might be a little bit out of order. But at some point during the day, Jalen Johnson got his hands on the ball and intercepted it with a very nice athletic play. So it's great to see Jalen Johnson finally getting the ball in his hands, as that was one kind of knock on him, is that he hasn't had many turnovers in his young career, but so far every single starting defensive back have now had at least one interception during camp. So that's great to hear from Jalen Johnson. But then the final 2-minute drill of the day for the first team offense started with Justin Fields throwing a check down pass to Cole Kmet and then an out route to DJ Moore, who got both feet in bounds and stopped the clock. And the great part about that throw was that Justin Fields threw the ball before DJ Moore came out of his break, so they're getting some nice timing routes, they're getting their chemistry. That's really great to hear. And then the final 2 plays for Fields in the 2-minute drill was quick throws to Darnell Mooney and Velus Jones. They put the Bears in field goal position, clocked the play, and got the field goal. And then the second team offense was in. PJ Walker threw an interception to Josh Blackwell. I just want to point that out. Obviously, I'm covering most of the first team, but I do want to point this particular play out because Josh Blackwell is having a very good camp, and he seemingly jumped Kendo Vildor on the depth chart. So potentially Josh Blackwell will be the backup nickel cornerback should anything happen to Kyler Gordon. But the Bears ended the practice on a high note with the first team offense. Justin Fields made the best throw of the day on the last throw with a strike to DJ Moore for the touchdown. So the chemistry with Justin Fields and DJ Moore and Chase Claypool is growing by the day. Obviously, Claypool isn't better than DJ Moore. DJ Moore is a bona fide wide receiver 1. Their connection is still there. They're making plenty of plays, but it is really interesting to hear that Chase Claypool is on fire. Justin Fields is throwing to him very, very often. He's getting touchdowns. Justin Fields is trusting him when he needs a play to be made. He's getting the ball into tight windows, and Chase Claypool is making great contested catches. So it seems like the Bears have a very nice wide receiver duo brewing there. Now, as far as Darnell Mooney, I'm not sure how much he is participating in 11-on-11s. He was ramping up from his ankle injury throughout camp and wasn't participating in 11-on-11s much to start out, but it seems like Justin Fields is grown more chemistry with Chase Claypool as of recent, and that's going to be huge. I mean, Chase is a bigger wide receiver and can play on the outside opposite of DJ Moore, but that just opens up the game for Darnell Mooney. I mean, although we're not hearing a lot from camp, it doesn't really matter too much. It's good that the chemistry is building with other guys, but once the season gets started, Darnell Mooney is going to be able to be in the slot facing up against linebackers, outside linebackers, or safeties, free safeties, strong safeties, nickel cornerbacks. He's not going to have to face teams number 1 and number 2 cornerback because they're going to have their hands full with DJ Moore and Chase Claypool. So, it's really just a win-win for the Bears to hear that Chase Claypool is lighting it up during camp, and Darnell Mooney, while not making as much of a splash during camp, I mean, everybody knows what he can do. The talent is still there. So it's just nice to hear that Claypool is putting on a show, and hopefully he's primed for a breakout season. And the last thing I want to talk about on the day, you guys know I generally like to be a glass half full kind of guy, but I also have to keep it honest and not, lie just to be an overly optimistic Bears fan. I have hyped up Gervon Dexter so far during camp because reports have been that he's been looking stellar. However, today we got a little bit of pushback on him. Herb Howard said that he's paying attention to Gervon Dexter and he was consistently the last guy off the ball. And we know that that was a major issue for him in college, although it was a situation where the defensive coordinator didn't ask Gervon to get off the ball fast. They wanted him to kind of read and react to the offensive line, so he developed the habit of getting off of the ball slow. Well, it sounds like that's kind of an issue with him still going on his 10th practice as a Bear. Even head coach Matt Eberflus said that if he wants to be an elite player, he has to get better with his get off. And he has the strength, he has the pure strength to make an impact on the Bears defense this season, but he does have to work on getting off the ball faster and playing with a lower padded level per head coach Matt Eberflus. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that we got to panic and say that it's a big concern with him. Obviously, it's not. He's just getting started. He's only on his 10th practice. He has plenty room to improve, but I just have to put that out there because, like I said, I've been hyping him up so much based off of the reports, but I just have to let it be known that he's not the perfect prospect and he does have room to grow. But that's about it from today's practice, today's Family Fest. It was a good time. The team showed a lot of love to the fans. The Bears are off tomorrow. They have a break and then they have 4 days of practice and then the first preseason game. So we're just that much closer to some real football, everyone. We're inching there slowly but surely, but we're getting there. Feel free to subscribe to the channel to stay updated. I'm trying to bring you guys updates every single day. Feel free to drop a like, drop a comment, let me know how you guys are feeling. And if you're not done getting your daily dose of Bears, go ahead and click on one of my previous videos and I'll see you guys there.